All right, well, good afternoon. Thank you for attending this Learning Lab session on delivery technology for reconstituted drug product. So my name is Chris Muenzer. I lead our innovation and development for Haselmeier, which is a part of Medmix. Here's actually the title of the slide. So before we get going, I've got to put up the lawyer disclaimer. So of course, these are, medical devices that haven't been fully approved, things like that, exactly. You know the drill. So, if you don't know Haselmeier, we are the global drug delivery business of Medmix. So, Medmix is a Swiss company that specializes in advanced delivery technologies across a range of fields. But Haselmeier, we're fully focused on drug delivery solutions for pharma. So we're primarily based in Stuttgart in Germany, but have operations in Europe, India, and we'll be doing manufacturing in the US starting next year. We're obviously a full partner for pharmaceutical products, going every from designing devices up through pharma packaging. So for today's talk, I want to give you a little background on what is lyophilization. Make sure you understand kind of the basics there, and then talk about what are the current challenges with delivering lyophilized drug product. And then give you some potential alternatives that you can consider to manual reconstitution, and then finally talk about a technology solution around in-pen reconstitution that we have at Haselmeier. So for starters, lyophilization, it's a basically fancy technical word that really means a freeze-dried product. So this is where you take all of the water out of a liquid. So you actually put the drug at both a low temperature and a low pressure. And so through a process called sublimation, the water basically evaporates out of the formulation, and you're left with what's usually referred to as a lyo cake, which is a kind of powdered drug product that's left in the vial. It's really, in the end, not a lot different to if you're familiar with like the astronaut ice cream or some of those things you see at science museums and stuff, where all the water has been removed. So why would you want to do something like this? There's a couple key advantages of a lyophilized drug product, and the primary reason is stability. So if you take water out of a solution, then that really inhibits the ability for chemical reactions that lead to degradation to occur. This allows you to do room temperature storage, which we've all learned over the last few years with the COVID crisis, cold chain and low temperature storage can be a challenge, especially as we get outside of Europe and North America. The access to the logistics to be able to maintain drug product at a refrigerated or even below refrigerated condition can be challenging. So lyophilization allows that drug product to exist without that cold chain. And then a very minor point, but a drug product in solution is mostly water. And so if you're shipping a lot of drug product around, or you have transportation challenges, you're also shipping all that weight of water. And so if you take all that out and can source the water locally, that can reduce what you have to transport. So the problem, though, with a lyophilized product is you still want to inject it. So you need to turn it back into a liquid. And that involves a step called reconstitution, and this is normally a very challenging process. So this is an example that I took off of an IFU for an early formulation of Xolair, which is a Novartis drug in Europe and a Genentech drug in the US. So as you can see here, you've got to have a mini pharmacy basically as a patient to reconstitute this product. You've got multiple syringes, multiple needles, you've got to deal with 2 vials, and this can be a very burdensome process. The steps involved is you have to prepare the drug, you've got to transfer what's referred to as the diluent, which is the liquid, into the other vial. You've got to mix it up, then you've got to withdraw that into a plastic syringe and give an injection. So if you're a person who's self-injecting, or maybe even more challenging, a parent that has to give an injection to your child, this can be a very burdensome process. In addition, the accuracy that you can deliver a product with a plastic syringe is quite low. So if it's a drug that requires very precise accuracy, the risk of underdose and overdose with manual injection from something you drew up yourself can be quite challenging. And then it's just, as I said, very intimidating. Again, you feel like you need to be a trained nurse to be able to do delivery with this type of system, which now is what I've just explained from the previous slide. So again, it's intimidating, lots of user steps, and a large amount of material, and then accuracy can be a challenge. So one alternative that we've worked with at Haselmeier is you can do what's called a vial to cartridge transfer step. So a cartridge, this is a very standardized container that's been widely used within pen injectors for many years. Here we're showing a solution that's available from a company called Duoject, but there are others available out there as well. And once you can do the reconstitution into a cartridge, then you have the ability to put it in a reusable pen injector quite easily, and now you've solved your dose accuracy issue because the pen can handle all of that for you. It's very simple to use and get an accurate dose. The steps are still there. You still have a lot of steps, but they are a little simplified. There's less handling of needles and things like that. And this is probably about as close to a off-the-shelf solution if you have a drug product already in a vial that's available. So, you can really look to moving into a pen today if you have your drug product already in a vial. I guess we're doing construction over there. Sorry about that. So this gets us sort of part of the way solving those problems. The next sort of evolution in this technology is what's referred to as a dual chamber cartridge, or a lot of times you see it as a DCC. And this actually takes both those vials that we saw in the Xolair example and puts them into one container. You can see that they're separated by a stopper, and so you have the powder on one side and then the liquid. And then what happens is there is a bypass that is sealed off before when it's transported, and then you actually push the stopper forward, which that opens up the bypass and allows you to move the liquid into the same chamber as the powder. Of course, this is only part of the solution. Once you have this type of container system, you need a device that's capable of helping you with the reconstitution. See if it stops there a minute. So this is an example of a technology that we've developed with at Haselmeier. It's a version actually of something that we've already put on the market. Sorry about that. And basically what it is it uses a reusable dose module. So this is what's on the right side. And this would be something that is akin to what's in an insulin pen. So this again is provides you the dose accuracy and the reliability that you get from a pen system. And then on the left side is a disposable cartridge container. And so this would come to the patient already assembled with the DCC, with the dual chamber cartridge. And then before the first use, the patient would screw it onto the pen. They would then rotate down the cartridge holder. This causes the bypass to move forward. They would then need to shake the device to kind of finely mix up the product, and then they attach a needle and inject it just like a normal insulin pen. So you have the advantage of simplifying that process, but you still have a reusable component that allows you to be a bit more sustainable, minimize waste, things like that. Then the alternative is we have a very similar technology, but based on a disposable platform. So in some markets, especially like the US, it can be very challenging to get reimbursement for a reusable system. You want to simplify the handling in the pharmacy. this can be offered then as also a fully disposable platform. And in this case now it comes with the cartridge already integrated. This is a service as well that we can provide at Haselmeier, so we have the capability for handling the container closure, so we're actively actually doing this for a customer today. So we can provide you with a fully assembled pen. All you have to do at the customer is, again, rotate the cartridge container to start that reconstitution process, shake the pen up to get everything well mixed, and then inject into your injection site. So dial up your dose and inject. This can be available, depending on your drug, this can be available either as a single-use device. So if you only want one injection out of the container, that's an option. Or we can do, if your drug product is stable enough for, say, injections over a week or a month, we can also offer it as a multi-dose injection out of that same container. So we really see that there's a lot of advantages of having in-pen reconstitution. I mean, we've taken a lot of that complexity away from the patient, so medical errors are reduced because there's a lot less user steps. We've simplified the process, you don't have the intimidation, and then you have those benefits of increased shelf life and fewer components and things that you have to handle in your supply chain. So that's all for the pharma company, is a big improvement. And then when you look at the patient side, again, it's that ease of use. It's that reduced risk of contamination. You're not having to handle multiple needles. It's ready to use. And it really takes this fear of having to do this injection away and turns it into a much simpler process. Okay, so in summary, the key kind of takeaways today. So, again, lyophilization is a process that you really put in place if you need improved stability, but as it exists today, it primarily comes with delivery challenges. Again, as I said, a simple step you can take today is vial to cartridge solutions, and this really allows you to take existing drug product and improve the delivery capabilities. And then for maybe projects that are earlier in their life, or you've got a longer development time, an investment in a dual chamber cartridge with in-pen reconstitution can give you a big advantage in the usability and acceptance of that product on the market. I'm happy to take some questions now. Also, we've got a booth over, I think in somewhere over the C70. Or feel free to send me an email, connect with me on LinkedIn. Happy to answer questions there as well. So no questions. Okay. Well, again, thank you for coming. Hope this at least gave you a little more background on what can be possible with the lyophilized drug product. And again, please visit us at the booth. We've got auto-injectors, pens, some other technologies that we'd be very happy to talk to you about as well. So again, thank you for coming.